I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling.
All right, welcome. This is Financial Literacy with TC. I'm your boy TC. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me. So many podcasts out in the world you guys choose to tune into, but you always choose to come back to mine, and I'm so thankful for that. Like always, we want to continue to bring Black representation when we're talking about finances. Today's episode is very special because we have two of the best in the city of Pittsburgh. They are killing it when it comes to helping our people, Black people, get finance, whether it's business, whether it's personal loans, business loans. They are killing it, and I'm so excited that they were able to join me. But before I do their introductions, please make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to continue to bring content. We want to see more Black representation when we're talking about money, finances. So in order to do that, we got to keep having the support. So please, again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and we continue to bring you that good content.
Yeah.
So my guests today, I'm so excited to have these two. They are my peers. They are people who I look up to in the community. They are doing phenomenal things, and I just want to make sure that they are represented to the best of their ability. They do many things, but for today's episode, I want to keep it locked into what they do for the Black community as far as finances and helping individual business owners accomplish their financial goals. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce each one of them one at a time, and then we're going to jump right into today's topic, which is basically the 8th annual Your Financial Health Checkup. If you don't know about this and if you have not registered, you need to do so. It's going to be February 28th, 2025, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 4099 William Penn Highway, Monroeville, PA 15146. Dr. Salome Bay. Obviously, if you follow me, you know I did an episode with her several months ago. She ended out my 2024. We did an episode together. So shout out to her. She's hosting this event, if I'm not mistaken. And then she has some of the biggest heavy hitters in the city tagging along with her. So we're going to jump right into it. Let me introduce the two that I have with me today. I'm going to start with this man to my left. He is a banker who's passionate about servicing his community and giving his customers the best banking experience possible. He's a husband, father?
No,
father, not yet. He calls man, uncle. And he's just an all-around great dude. Me and him had the pleasure of sharing the same employer, and we definitely built a relationship. We always come together and connect. Every time we see each other, it's all love, and we just love seeing and supporting one another. One of the things that it's Black History Month. One of the things that I was so proud of when I first started my banking career was to see this man to my left look like me. One of the things that I did when I started looking at my financial employers, it was to see who in that space looked like me, who I could, look to aspire to be like. And he was one of the faces I saw. So it's always I say it with pride that, we're one of the few Black branch managers that existed in Pittsburgh. We want to see those numbers increase. So, if you haven't been in finance or you're looking to be in the industry, definitely tap in with a mentor or somebody who looks like you, and, lock in with them because they can help you get to that elevated level and get you into a position that, we need to see more Black representation in finances. So,
absolutely.
With all that being said, this is Jonathan Royster. Definitely make sure you tap into him. We're going to get into what he actually does, but I just wanted to give him his props and thank him for joining me.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
And then to my right is a goat.
Definitely a goat. Definitely a goat.
So I'm gonna try to do her justice.
Oh man.
You listen. You better give her one of them Shannon Sharp introductions. For sure. Give her one of these Shannon Sharp introductions.
For sure. So, for those who follow me, you know I did an episode with Taylor Shealey. This is her mom. She talked about her momager. This is a woman who is known for elevating individuals in the Black community. She's a loan officer with Neighborhood Community Development Fund. In her role as a loan officer, she elevates potential customers' creditworthiness by processing loans and applications and underwriting loans. She utilizes every resource available to her to help clients meet their business needs. Prior to her joining, she was with financial institutions as a vice president and a branch manager. In 2020, she created KeyHab, a program dedicated to providing Black business owners with resources to help them operate to their full potential. She earned her associate's degree in sociology from community college from CCAC, and she's definitely a phenomenal woman. She's she's a wife. Excuse me. She's a wife. She's a mother, 2 beautiful daughters. She has grandchildren. No grandchildren. I'm misspeaking on that one. Not yet, anyway. And she just, oh man, I can't even get into. She just does so much. If you know her personally, you know her character. She's phenomenal. She's a survivor of breast cancer. I don't even know if she wanted me to share that, but I just feel like every time she talks, she has a message and a word that we need to hear as a people.
Absolutely.
She uplifts our community. I really just can't say enough. And without me about to get teary-eyed, I'm gonna just say, this is the GOAT, Denise Graham-Shealey.
Yes.
I want to thank her for joining me because if you know her, you know she is somebody who's, you got to catch her. And when you get an opportunity to have her grace you with her presence, you can't do anything but be in awe of her presence. You take 5 minutes with her, you just love her. So
I want to add on to that real quick because what you said as far as us working in this industry and wanting to see more representation, and what you said about me as far as just gravitating because you saw somebody that looked like you. My experiences with Miss Denise was exactly the same. When I first started working with Key, first thing I always look at, of course, I want to see some people that look like me, and Miss Denise, I just gravitated to her because of her spirit and just her aura. And she took me under her wing as a mentor. Yes. And I honestly, I still aspire to be like her. And one of the reasons I do is because the impact that she has on the community. And it's like, I promise you, like I said, I'm of course, I'm an African-American male. And one of my passions is to work with people that look like me, to share those resources and our knowledge. And it's like, every time I sat down with a Black client, a Black business owner or something, they always knew who Miss Denise was. and it used to blow my mind. And I'm like, listen, I want to have that impact. I want my name to ring bells like that. I want Black business owners and entrepreneurs to know who I am because I was able to give them resources and knowledge and help their businesses thrive. And that's what Miss Denise does. And that's what I strive to be able to do. So yes, I want to give you your flowers.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. And he said it phenomenally. So I do want to give you guys an opportunity to, say, as Bernard would say, shout out to V, your 30-second pitch on just exactly it is you guys do individually. I kind of did it, but I definitely can't do it to the level you guys can. Miss Denise, if you want to go first.
Well, thank both of you for that, for the words of acknowledgement, encouragement. Thank you. And when I have a program or when I have a party, I'm going to have him come and do my little intro.
Absolutely.
And then I'm going to say, and we also have John. But no, my name is Denise Graham-Shealey. I am a loan officer at Neighborhood Community Development Fund. At this time in my career, in my season, I should say, I'm a loan officer, and we really strive to get loans to Black and brown folk. Underserved communities. We've been underserved for so long that sometimes we don't realize that we are underserved. So just coming back and showing folks their potential, giving them that oomph to know that they can do what it is that they want to do. Again, Denise Graham-Shealey, Neighborhood Community Development Fund.
Yes,
absolutely. Hello, my name is, of course, as you already know, Jonathan Royster. I am a branch manager with KeyBank. Of course, as a branch manager, my role is to manage the 3 walls the four walls, I should say, of the branch, making sure everything is running procedurally correct, making sure we're bringing in business, but of course, making sure that our clients are aware of all the products and services that we have that can help their financial journey in regards to checking accounts, savings accounts, credit cards, lines of credit, all different type of things. As a branch manager, I have a more focus on small business, so I am responsible for all the small business activity that goes on in my branch. Well, like I said, whether it helping people get with their cash flow, helping with merchant services, helping them with set up operating accounts, that type of thing. Like I said, my passion though is working with people that look like me. Because as Miss Denise said, my branch is actually in an underserved community, so I have a lot of passion, and it's in a community that I actually grew up in. So I have a lot of passion when I go to work every single day, because not only am I able to give knowledge and resources to people that look like me, but I'm also able to do it in a community where I grew up in. So I get a lot, like I said, I get a lot out of being able to put this suit on and go to work and do what I do every single day. So.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you guys for sharing that. So let's dive right into the 8th annual Your Financial Health Checkup. Again, I want to make sure we mention the key players that are going to be there besides Jonathan and Ms. Denise. One, the host, Dr. Salome Bay. If you don't know about her, go to my previous podcast episodes and learn a lot, or follow her on social media platforms. But also there's going to be Ms. Denise's coworker, Allison Howard. I've had a chance to meet her a couple times. She's always been lovely to me. Definitely, she has a passion to do the work that she's doing as well. And I'll be remiss if I didn't bring up Mr. Rich Noel. Rich Noel. He's a phenomenal dude as well. I mean, everybody on the team is phenomenal. Always been nice to me, and I just love sending people and referring them to the whole crew, because you guys do a phenomenal job. And I think for each and every one of you, I'll even say Danny Glover, throw her name in there as well. You guys really just have a passion for the work you do, and it shows. So, and then also, I want to make sure I highlight Mia and Brian Flanagan. I don't know them personally, but I've heard good things.
Good folks.
Yeah, so Ms. Denise knows them. I just want to make sure we mention them, because that's a heavy hitter crew right there when it comes to this event. So with that being said, I at least want to give you guys an opportunity just to give people a little insight on how you guys came to be a part of the program, and then what people can expect that day. And we want to make sure we get people in the room before anything else, because that's why we're on here. We want to make sure people know about it, and the purpose is to have it shown on our social media platforms. I know I send it out, share it, trying to get many people to register. So if you guys just want to talk about how you got involved with doing this, and then what people can expect when they come up.
The way I got involved with it is kind of through Miss Denise, kind of sort of. So I was always privy and aware of Dr. Salome Bay and all the work that she did in the city, and she does a lot. And I always knew of her name, but I didn't actually get a chance to meet her or work with her until Miss Denise. So I was able to meet her through Miss Denise, and through that we've just always had a relationship. And recently, just a couple weeks ago, she reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in presenting at this event, talking about personal credit, business credit, credit cards, lines of credit, those different things. So just some of the different products and services that banks have that can help people with their credit and also help with their business. So yeah,
love that.
So this is, I think, my 3rd year with the actual financial checkup. And it's just wonderful. Salome called me, Dr. Bay called me and asked me 3 years ago, would I be a part of it? So at the time I was working for KeyBank, and I came with the Key Hive perspective of, I know a lot of you won't be able to get traditional banking, but here's what you can do.
Right.
So it's always an honor to be asked to come back, because Dr. Bay does do a lot for the community. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to pay for this and I don't want to pay for that. Some things you have to pay for, some things you don't. This event happens to be free. There is no admission or whatever. I think whatever services you may get from Dr. Bay, there may be a charge for that. But this event, she gives back to the community. So it's exciting, because I always learn something new when I go. And there, Jonathan coming aboard is even special, because as he said, that's my mentee. but you should always have a bank representative there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know a person in the world that I would want beside me presenting other than John.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, and honestly, thank you guys for sharing that, because that kind of leads me to another question when it comes to, knowing you guys a lot on a personal level, and Dr. Bay as well, a commitment to service and serving the community. So my question for each of you guys is, what sparked your in your career to want to serve the community the way that you do? I know a lot of times people think it's a part of the job description for whatever who our employers are, but a lot of times there's a difference between people who just want to come in and punch the clock and get in and out versus those who go above and beyond to share resources and give. If I'm not mistaken, I think you were working on your day off doing, working with meet with clients. So you just talk about your level of service to community, because I want people to know that's not a common thing.
Yeah. So for me, where it came from, it started when I first got into the finance industry, which it wasn't with banking. I used to work for Prudential as quote a financial professional. So I could do life insurance, mutual funds, those type of things.
Right.
And I think it was interesting how when I got that job, my boss, one of the best supervisors I've ever had, I really like him, really down to earth. He said that the reason that he hired me was because he said he went to work one day and he realized that he was working with all old white guys. And he said to him, it kind of a light bulb went off, and they said it was important to him because we got to get some more representation out there, because there's a whole demographic that we're not able to serve.
Right.
And these old white guys, they're not going to be able to go into these communities and be able to help these people.
Right.
And he said, just what I brought to the table, he thought that we would be able to do that.
Right.
So as I got into that industry and I started learning more about investments and insurance and all of these different things, and it was like mind blowing, all these different strategies and products that people have available to them, but our community doesn't know about it.
For sure.
They don't know about all the different ways that you could put money away and life insurance on. I mean, how many times you've seen people pass away and they got to do GoFundMe's because they don't have no life insurance or do stuff like that. So that right there was big for me. Like, okay, let me make sure that the people in my community have at least enough insurance just so they can bury people. They ain't gotta break the bank. They ain't gotta, all these extra things that they have to do just for simple things like that. So that right there kind of sparked it for me, because knowing that there was all this knowledge and all these different things that my people weren't taking advantage of, I wanted to be the person that gets that information to them.
For sure.
So when I left that industry and got into banking, it was kind of the same thing. I had the passion to want to help people that look like me, because there's not a lot of black bankers. There's not a lot of black branch managers, So when people go into the bank is already a very intimidating place for black people.
Yes.
But if they're able to go into the bank and see somebody that looks like them, it makes them feel that much more comfortable, that much more safe.
Absolutely.
And I kind of took that role on, and it's just, like I said, it's ingrained in me now.
I love it.
It's something I'm very passionate about. So that's where it came from for me.
No, I appreciate that.
So for me, so I've been in the financing world, banking world for about 27 years now. Yeah. And for me, it was a job. It was just a job. I worked my way up to branch manager, like, hey, I'm a branch manager, right? And I love it. Like, I love clients. I like talking to folks. But then the activist part of me, wanted to make a change, right? We were protesting, we were doing different things like that, but it's like, come on, Denise, what is your purpose, right? So as I'm going through and I'm talking and I'm praying and I'm believing God to open those doors for me, my purpose was to actually educate people who look like me about finances, because we don't grow up with those types of things, right? We are the ones who want to start businesses, but we can't get the but the funding to do so. Mm-hmm. So what I started doing around the PPP time, COVID time, I went to my supervisor came to me, actually the supervisor of a supervisor, Amanda Baps. Shout out to Amanda Baps. Mm-hmm. She came to me and said, what is it that you want to do with the rest of your career? And I openly and honestly said to her, I want to educate people who look like me, but I don't want KeyBank to say I only do business for black people.
Right.
And she said, go for it. And I never stopped. We started with Zooms because it was COVID, right? We had like 8 people on a Zoom. When I left KeyBank a year and some months ago, we had almost 200 and something odd people registered in the Key Hive. And what did the Key Hive do? I simply educated folks on the next steps, right? Because they weren't going to get loans from traditional banking and they weren't going to be able to get the startup money that they needed. But with the right plan, right, we can do that. So on the course of creating the Key Hive, I came across the Neighborhood Community Development Fund, which is a little bit different when it comes to lending, especially for our folks, right?
Absolutely.
And I started referring over to Rich Newell. Shout out to Rich.
Shout out to Rich. That's my guy.
And opening came and he said, fam, you need to come over here. Well, when you pray about something, right? And you know you're walking in your purpose and God opens that door for you to do it for sure. Right, where I don't have to tell people, well, we couldn't do it right now. Let me get you over here. Now I am the over here, right? I am that piece that is missing in our community where we're going to get you startup funding. We're going to get you the business plan that you need. We're going to help you with the projections. But more importantly, we're not going to judge you based on past circumstances. You know, we're not going to judge you because you used all your credit trying to get the business started. Now your debt ratio is crazy. We're going to look at you. And there's something that, you know, we said, and regardless of who is president, we are C, right? We're not invisible. We are people, right?
Absolutely.
And this, where I work at now, allows me to let folks see that I see you. You know what you feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I see you, right? And for so long we haven't been seen, but we're not invisible. Shout out to DEI.
Shout out to DEI.
You know, we are who we believe that we are. No one can erase our pain. No one can erase our achievements. And shout out to Black history because no one can erase who we are. Right? To say that we don't exist says that we don't exist. And I don't know about you, but I'm here.
I ain't going nowhere either.
We are Black history. We don't need 28 days of a month to say who we are. We are who we say that we are. And we are people and we're here and we're doing this.
I love it.
Y'all see why I wanted to
Listen, man.
See,
I love it. I love her passion.
Yeah,
I love
for
it.
sure. And she's all that. This ain't no. She ain't putting on.
No, that's how I feel. How I feel.
She is who she is at all times. I promise you.
Yeah,
I promise you.
No, and honestly, I mean, let's jump right into it. When we talk about, we know what's happening with DEI. For me, it was when I had my former employer. It was having that DEI space to have people who look like me. We had a group called Diversity in Action, and we were able to come together, do outings, and do events. And I say that saved my banking career because I dealt with imposter syndrome early on in banking.
Oh yeah.
I learned that, I can't talk and deal with, white people and black people in the same manner sometimes, depending on, I was afloat.
You got to learn how to code switch.
I was out Cranberry Sewickley one day, and then I'm in Braddock, East Liberty, Cranston, or I'm out Washington, or Greensburg, I should say, Washington, PA, Greensburg, PA. And it was just a whole different environment each and every place that I went. And I really needed times where there was people who come in talking to me crazy, just trying to make me feel inferior. And I needed people who look like me to be able to call on and say, hey, this just happened to me. And they talked me off the ledge. And fearing that, many organizations, many companies don't even have that for people. And so I truly am sad to see what's happening with DEI, but it really was a game changer, saved my life. So, I don't know if you guys have any additional words on top of that, but that was the biggest thing that I really wanted to emphasize to people. No, it was more than just trying to give us an equal playing field. It was, no, I can go to somebody who looks like me and share my issues and concerns that only they can relate to. So,
for me, the DEI, D&I, diversity, equity, inclusion, was good for some folks, right? But I've always felt that I had to work harder than anybody else in the room. Because most times when I entered into those rooms in the financing world, I was the only Black female in those rooms.
Exactly.
I was the only Black person, period. So, and I even think my last gig at KeyBank, there was 3 or 4 of us.
Still like that.
Again, you know, I've always had to work harder. I've always had to work smarter. You know, and code switching, I didn't even realize I was doing it. But I probably was because, hi, hello, how are you? What up, dude? So there was always that, right? I think we always code switch, but in all of it, I never lost who I was.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like the intimidations that sometimes came across from folks, you know, I would laugh. Because at the end of the day, no matter how they tried to not see me, they always had to come back to see me. Because I was the one who was going to say yay or nay on that. So I don't have to fight for your respect. Because eventually,
You have to give it to
you're going to
me.
give me mine. So, yeah.
I think that when it comes to DEI, it is unfortunate everything that's going on right now with it, but I feel like it just takes me back to what you said. We are who we are, right? And we're going to accomplish what we're going to accomplish no matter what, right? And so I feel like whatever they're doing with all the policies and all that, it's not going to change what Black people represent, what we're working towards, or what we still have to accomplish. It just takes standing for something, right? So we and this is something we talked about at work on Friday. So I'm the president of the KeyBank, which was handed to me from Miss Denise, right? So I guess she put me in position, right?
For sure.
But what I organized on Friday is I organized a couple sessions where we all got together to watch the I Have a Dream speech.
Love that.
So a couple of us, we got on teams and we watched the speech, and we just reflected on it.
Right.
And one thing that I took away from it is just that, because that was the first time I actually sat down and watched the full speech.
Right.
And one thing that I took away from it is that regardless, at the end of the day, the thing that we have to make sure that we do, we have to stand for something. Right? Whether there's a DEI department, whether there's not, it doesn't change what we have to stand for, what we have to fight for. We have to be the change that we want to see.
Yes.
And that's always going to be there, no matter what type of departments or policies they have existing. So I feel like as long as people keep that ingrained in them and they understand that, then we'll be able to do and accomplish everything we want to.
And, I know we're not going to talk about D&I, the whole thing, but I just want to put this out here. When you hear DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and because we're Black, we automatically, but diversity, equity, inclusion just was never meant just for Black people.
You know what I've seen about DEI? They said that the people who benefited most from DEI was actually white women. It ain't even Black people.
And I say that to say, it made it a little easier at times. I know for me, when it really rolled out into the bank, it made it a little easier, where we were allowed to be KeyBank and, they had the pride group.
A whole lot of James Brown energy.
But at the end of the day, Black people, we didn't get what we got from diversity, equity, inclusion. We are who we are. Did it make it easier on some? Some. Did it open more doors for some? Maybe. But at the end of the day, we've always been overqualified. Let me say that again. We've always been overqualified because we always work harder to be seen.
And as far as those doors being open, those were doors that were supposed to be open.
How about that?
They were somebody was on the other side kind of shutting it. DEI told that person, all right, get out the way. We're gonna let this door get open.
For sure.
Because it's supposed to be open. So
yeah, man. No, and I love that. And it's Black History Month, so I felt it was important for us to have that conversation. But we are going to get into a little bit of finances. Let's talk about credit. And I'm going to be intentional about the 2 financial topics that I get you guys' perspective on, because I know it's what, at least when I'm out in these streets and doing the workshops and things that I do, credit is the biggest question that majority of our audience that we deal with talk about. And I know you guys do just as much, engagement with our community as I do. They're always, and I guess from my perspective, they're blinders is thinking credit is the only thing that matters. And I'm like, no, it's very important. But it's not the end all be all. There's other factors that you need to think about as well. So if you guys could just talk about, your guys' experience with the frequent questions we get about credit, and just what is your guys' overall approach when you're talking about it? And I know Dr. Bay I'm assuming will be the leader when it comes to helping people, rectify their credit and things of that nature. But I know it's a conversation piece that you guys have to have with
for all of our clients.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave the credit piece to Dr. Bay because she's the credit specialist. But one of the biggest things that I see is that we don't understand credit.
I was going to say, we don't know.
And if I hear one more time, well, Miss Denise, I got a new business. I have business credit. No, you don't.
Oh my goodness.
There's no such thing as new business, new credit.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Yes.
When you get a business and you come for funding, the business, whether it's online, brick or mortar, if you selling it out your car, it cannot pay the bill. Only you, the person who owns the business, can pay the bill. So now how does a creditor see if you're worthy to be able to get this funding? They pull your what?
Personal.
They pull your what?
Personal.
Come on, one more time.
Personal.
Your personal credit determines if your business will get a loan. You can have a business that is making trillions, then you wouldn't really need a loan. So that's not a very good example. But you get my picture.
Yeah.
Your business can be great, awesome. That's not how you're going to get approved. Does the business, it has to make sense, absolutely. Different industries have different things that they don't really like to play in, and we can talk about that. But a lot of cash businesses are not the ideal business for lenders. But at the end of the day, let me say that one more time. At the end of the day, a business does not have credit. Now, there are business credit lines, absolutely. But you need at least 12 trade lines on the business side to get anything with the EIN number. So, one more time. An EIN number is not your new social security number.
Love it.
And just to piggyback off of that, because she said a lot of things, I was going to say, one thing that I say to every single client that I sit down with, business client, I say, you can't get business credit unless you get your personal credit together. I have, and sometimes it's sad. I have so many people who come into my office who have ideas for businesses and want to do this and want to do that, and they think that they can just walk in and just be able, I got this business and I need like $50,000 to do this. Okay, cool, sounds good. Because just because you want $50,000 as a new business, it doesn't mean you can't get it. Now there's going to be some things that you got to hit every single one of these to get it, but doesn't mean it's unattainable. Right. So let's talk about it. First thing, let's talk about your personal credit. What's your personal credit? It's like 480. Okay. So in my mind, I'm like, well, you have a 480 credit score, and for some reason you seem to think that you can come into a traditional bank and get 50,000. So let's talk about it. So I talk to them about their credit, because a lot of people, they might know their credit score, but they don't understand why it is the way that it is. Right? Because that's one thing that I ask them. I'll ask everybody, what is your score? They'll tell me it's whatever. Okay, do you know what's on your credit that's keeping it where it's at? Most people do not know. Most people do not know if they have things in collections. They don't even know they don't know if they have late payments. They can't tell me what their utilization is. So there's all these things that people aren't aware of. So a lot of times with my business clients, I don't even talk to them about business stuff because they're not in a position to talk about it yet. Yes. We have to focus on your personal credit. We have to get that together, because that is what that's what your business is going to piggyback off.
Now, let me piggyback on something that he said. So that's where I come in at. Traditional lending, you're not going to get a loan in traditional lending. Your credit score needs to be 675 and going way up north, okay? For real. Another thing that, and I lead all that in to say, one of the biggest myths out there is, well, Denise, my credit score is a 750.
I don't mean nothing.
Okay, so I look at it as a 750, but let's talk about the credit history.
The story behind
Like,
it.
what did you do a year ago? And what did you do 2 years ago? Because that's what creditors are looking at. And in our community, we don't understand credit enough. So Ms. Babe, that's why you want to come out to this event.
Absolutely.
She's going to go over it. She's going to talk about it. She's going to talk about sexy. You got to come see what that means.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, over in my world, I am the one that can do a loan if your credit score is 493. Because I did one for someone who was 493. But we're looking at the full story. What happened? You know, what happened? Traditional lending is not going to do
We're not
that.
going to look at the full story.
But it's always the goal to get you back to traditional lending. But, you know, again, understanding credit is huge. And let's talk about credit and zip codes. You want to talk about that?
I want to talk about it.
Because, you know, you can live in one zip code and have the same thing on your report and have a 650 and live in another place with a zip code and your credit score is 450. But you don't want to talk about that, right?
No, and honestly, we're going to leave it right there because you want the sauce, you got to come to the 8th annual. I love that. That segment gave me chills because
Listen, credit's a business.
for sure.
Zip code, baby.
Where you live at? Oh, okay.
And I honestly think y'all did a phenomenal job because you guys are both you do the same thing, but you're on different ends of the spectrum. Traditional lending versus
Alternate.
Oh, thank you. And the way y'all tag team that was awesome. And honestly,
Listen, I send so many of my clients to Miss Denise and to Rich over there. I love neighborhood community bank.
for sure, absolutely.
So I send so many of my clients over there.
Yeah, and we did not script that, y'all.
No, we didn't.
They have a phenomenal relationship,
Yeah.
obviously, as y'all have learned, and the way they played off each other. So I want to leave it there because I think we gave enough sauce, enough to get your butt in the seat. So make sure you
come.
There's a link,
Register.
if I'm not mistaken. There's a link for you to register. They're going to be giving all good nuggets and tips and tricks. I don't want them to give too much, so we're going to cut that there. And then we're going to start to wrap up on this. When we're talking about the financial checkup, health checkup, you guys should want to be in the room with individuals who have the experience and the knowledge and know-how of two individuals that are sitting next to me, and then the other individuals who will be in the building as well. And, you know, this is February 28th, 2025. And the reason why that date weighs so significant to me because it's the last day of Black History Month. It's going to be very intentional to be in that room because we know in 2026, the NFL draft is coming to our area. And I want to be very intentional when I say, is your business going to be ready? Is your business going to have the working capital it needs to be able to, take advantage of the people that's going to be in our space and in our city? And it starts with you being in this room with these individuals who can help take your business to the next level, wherever it's at. Dr. Bay helping you get your personal credit together. The two lenders in the room, 2 or 3 lenders, I'm sorry, in the room, helping you understand your whole picture and seeing which lender is going to be best for you. And there's, and I don't want to miss Mia and Brian Flanagan. They're going to be in the room as realtors. So, people are talking about, let's get Airbnbs, let's do this and do that. I'm tired of people talking about what we should do and not taking action.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who's on social media talking about what you want to do and what you should do to get ready for this NFL draft, if you're not in this room, that tells me everything I need to know. You're someone who just talks. You're not about taking action. So my question for you guys is, as we know, we have some things, exciting things, US Open, things of that nature coming to the city. Any tips or advice you would give prospective clients or business owners that you guys think that they should take advantage of as we get closer to these events that can help or break small businesses as we go into 2025 and then next year, 2026?
I think it's just more so a matter of, like you said, making sure that you have the knowledge and the resources so you can have your business where it needs to be. But you also need to take a deep dive at what type of business you have, understand how, if we're speaking specifically about the draft and this influx of people, how can your business take advantage of that influx? All these people coming into the city, what type of industry are you in? What type of products do you offer? What type of services do you have? And how can people take advantage of that? And how can you be in the best position to make sure that people know about it?
Right.
You know, so that's what I would say.
Be on a podcast.
So I'm going to come from a little different angle. The draft and the U.S. Open, as we call it in the lending world or in the banking world, is just the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Your business should be foundationally strong in 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your business should be on foundations that will, when something starts to crack, you can fix.
Right.
So when I say all that to say, you need a line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
Every business should have a line of credit. Oh, that's not going to work for me. I can't get credit. I just started my business. Yes, you can. With the proper foundation, get yourself a business plan, get yourself some projections. For us, on where I work at, we don't do lines of credit, but we do loans, working capital, and different things. Do you even know what working capital is?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to need that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your profit and loss. What's going on? I talk to business owners all the time. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a profit loss is, then you shouldn't be in business.
Mm-hmm.
So, Denise, you just told me I shouldn't be in business. Well, then hit Google profit loss, because the ultimate goal is, and I say this all the time, and we just had, no one's coming to save us.
Yes.
Right? You are allowed to be a business owner. There are programs out here that you can get you. There's not a lot of grants for LLCs or for profit. So you're going to probably have to get some lending in there, but always have or try to build towards traditional banking to get the lines of credits. If you can't, come alternate. I'm not talking hard money loans, people. Do not go and get a hard money loan. Go to different CDFIs like I am. That's where you're going to make and start doing everything.
Yes.
Now is the time.
Mm-hmm.
Build your business on foundations. And personally, and I used to get on John about this, and this is not his skill set, but John was like, Mr. Denise, I got a loan today. I put it on. Miss Denise, you got the client. Miss Denise, I got 2 loans. Miss Denise, you got, because we're not throwing shit on the wall to see if it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that. We're going to sit down, we're going to talk, and we're going to see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? It's not fair to you to come to me and I'm writing everything down, knowing in my head you're not getting approved, because we kind of know. We know what the monster likes, right? We know what to feed the monster.
I used to always.
And now I'm calling you 5 days later, because I knew 24 hours though, but I didn't have enough guts that come and call you.
Right.
And listen, some people don't even get called back.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Dang.
But at the end of the day, we're not throwing shit just to see if it sticks.
Right.
We're having those quality conversations. And when John changed his conversation, his loan started getting approved.
Yeah.
Because in banking, it's all about, oh, hurry up, get it. Nah, I'm not doing that. Right. And I've told people, I seldom say no. I say not yet.
Yep.
We got to do this. We got to do that. So people today, I'm telling you, if it's still your dream to have a business, let's go. If it's still your dream to start from scratch and do it, let's go. If you need funding, let's go. If your credit needs help, we want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be some powerful folks at this thing. I mean, you got John, you got myself, you got Allison coming to talk about technical.
I ain't speaking or not, but
you
I'm
know?
in the building.
So, I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
You gotta get there. The knowledge is out there. You just have to do your own work. You gotta do the legwork. Make sure you have access to it.
And being an entrepreneur is not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
You know?
It's not.
I'm going through it now. No, but honestly, man, on that note, I think that's a perfect way to wrap this thing up. If you wasn't inspired, then you might need to reevaluate what you're doing and what your goals are, because I'm already I'm ready to go now.
My boy got tingles.
Right. So yeah, with that being said, make sure last time, the 8th annual Your Financial Health Checkup, February 28th, 2025, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come with pen, paper, tablet, laptop, whatever. Take notes.
I'm ready to learn.
Bring business cards.
And can I just say this? That's the one thing that Dr. Salome Bay is real clear on. She wants you to leave with actionable steps.
Yes.
Don't come there talking about, oh, I forgot to bring some paper. Come on, y'all, bring your notebooks.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know some of y'all gonna say, well, I got my phone. The phone is, you're gonna get distracted. Bring the notepad and the pen and take notes.
Yes. Wealth building strategies and leveraging credit will be the focal point. So with that being said, make sure you're there. 4099 William Penn Highway, Monroeville, PA 15146. I think I've said it very slow and clear.
Jeanette building. What is the Jeanette building? What is it called?
I don't know.
It's the Jeanette.
I don't know what it is. There's a event center.
JONET. Jeanette building, and that's what it is.
Okay. So yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but y'all know that big thing.
Right. Hey, maps.
And events on 10. I know y'all know about events on 10. Shout out to Mark and Company.
Yeah.
You know where they be going to get them nice little diamond things.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, and one last thing before we get up out of here. Greenwood Plan. I am currently on the board now. I'm super excited.
Congratulations.
That was very exciting for me.
It should be.
If you're not familiar with the work that the Greenwood Plan is doing, you are sorely missing out on a huge and valuable resource to the Black community. Very intentional about putting us in positions to thrive. The space is phenomenal. They're trying to get Black businesses into the building. They're doing a ton of different things. Get on their newsletter, follow them on social, hell, come down to the building. Be intentional about the resources that we have at our disposal. I hear too many people worried about everything else, but trying to collaborate and work together to uplift our community. So many people are trying to focus on the wrong thing. You're giving too much energy to things that won't save us, like Ms. Denise has said repeatedly. So that being said, I want to get on the tangent because I can get going nowhere. But this is Financial Literacy with TC. I want to thank my guests. They were phenomenal. Before we go, I do want you guys to just tell people how they can tap in with you besides coming to the event. Any way that you'd like for people to get in contact with you.
I mean, you can I manage the McKees Rocks office, so you can call my office. You know, you can message me on Facebook. I'm Jonathan Royster.
Very accessible.
Yeah, I'm about to say, so yeah, I'm very accessible. So yeah.
So you can reach me, Denise Graham-Shealey, Neighborhood Community Development Fund. I'm always on Facebook, but I don't like Messenger, and here's why. Because I get confused, I forget, I don't look at it. It's not a program all by itself.
Right.
So you can call me at 412-342-7024. Or I can give you my email, but it's real long. Just call me, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you. I promise. Also, you can also text to that number as well. One more time, 412-342-7024.
And we will have their bios and their contact information in the description tab under the episode. So if you didn't catch it, you'll get it from there. But yeah, this is Financial Literacy with TC. I want to thank you guys for joining me. And we'll see you next time on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, with TC. Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.